Now we're back in Carnegie Hall. This is still Jim Fassett, but no longer recording. Misha Elman is to be heard now with Pierre Monteur conducting the New York Philharmonic in the Violin Concerto in E minor by Mendelssohn. I think we are. Mr. Elman is supposed to be just below us in the control booth, but I can't quite see. Will you excuse me just a minute? You'd better go outside, Dick. Now all is well. Mr. Elman is on stage, followed by Monsieur Monteur, and now we hear the Violin Concerto in E minor by Mendelssohn, played by the New York Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra, with Mr. Elman as soloist.
of that later. One of the most exquisite fiddle players to ever grace the earth was Misha Elman, and you heard him. Absolutely marvellous. I love his sense of line, seamless bowing, soaring, beautiful, warm tone. He just couldn't play a scratchy note, Misha, and he always played perfectly in tune. He had just exact intonation right in the centre of the note, so everything just springs to life and all the harmonics sort of combine, and it's just it's a glowing tone.
Perfection, really.
Yeah, it is. It's just marvellous. He was very idiosyncratic with rhythm. And there's a number of mannerisms evident in his playing. And it's a late recording too. That's recorded in 1955, well after his prime. But look, he's still in fabulous form. And it's an off-air recording which has recently emerged online, so always happy to discover new things. Care of the Merchant 3M tape archiving project. So, yeah, great to hear. I might play the rest of it later on tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, how are you, Frank?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you, Steve.
Good.
And you?
Yes. Oh, look, I'm picking up. I've had a bad week, to be honest.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've been crook. Yeah, I got the flu and early in the week, and I had to rest for about 30-something hours, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I was just achy and fluey and terrible.
You're doing well to be on deck tonight.
Well, it's I've just had a really busy week in the midst of all of this, and I've had to sort of just dose up and get through it. And so, running on half full, but it's crazy. It's an important family week as well, because my youngest daughter, Celia, is the lead in the musical and at the school, and that's on. We had 2 nights already, and tonight and tomorrow night, and a matinee tomorrow afternoon. Now, of course, I'm going to all of them.
Of course.
And
so you're going tonight?
Yes, I will be. So I won't be on for very long.
I understand.
I've got a zip, and it's actually a very long musical, and I may not get back by 11. So, but look, I will do something later on, because I just feel compelled to just keep active in some way with what we do. So even if it's a shorter program, but maybe 11 to. I'll let you know, Frank, if I'm after 11. And
sure, that's all right.
Yeah, and listeners, just I'll be on, but it might be 15:15 or 30:30 or something. I don't know. We'll see how we go, but probably only an hour or so. Just a few things have cropped up which would be nice to play.
I've found something I'd like to play, not tonight necessarily.
Oh, please tell me what's on your radar, Frank.
Do you know a composer called Heinrich Bieber?
Oh, yes, he wrote a lot of organ music, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but he also wrote some other stuff.
Yeah, Bieber.
And I really like him.
Yeah, Heinrich Bieber.
He reminds me of Zelenka quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think he might be Bohemian.
Yes. Okay, Bohemian. Yes, I'm aware of his music. Is there a particular work of his that sort of resonates?
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me.
Well, there's a particular, and I can't even remember
it's okay.
I've got it on CD.
Yes.
Okay. And look, let's perhaps not do it tonight, but maybe next week.
Okay, sure. I'd love to. I'd be really keen. I think it'd be fun. We'll play We'll play some Bieber. And yes, I don't know much about the composer. I've heard some of his organ music, and I think I've heard some solo violin music.
Yes, he wrote for a bit for orchestra.
Yes, right. Interesting.
It's totally baroque.
Okay, that sounds great. I might just quickly look him up and get his dates. Heinrich Bieber, and we'll find out a little bit more about him here. Oh gosh, there's even a painting of him.
Oh,
Heinrich Ignaz Franz Bieber.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just give you the blurb. Mr. Bieber, correctly Bieber von Bibern,
of course,
baptized on the 12th of August 1644. And, he lived until 1704. So he's sort of a product of that early Baroque, really.
Early Baroque, which I love. It's got a special thing, the early Baroque.
There's something quite sort of transparent.
Fresh.
Yes, it is. And it's not too heavy. Bohemian Austrian composer and violinist. He worked in Graz and Commerz before he illegally left his employer, Prince Bishop Karl Liechtenstein, Kasselhorn, and settled in Salzburg. He remained there for the rest of his life, publishing much of his music, but apparently seldom, if ever, giving concert tours. Bieber was among the major composers for the violin in the history of the instrument. His own technique allowed him to easily reach 6 or 7 positions, employ multiple stops in intricate polyphonic passages, and explore the various possibilities of scrittura tuning. That's a very specialist art. Among other pieces, Bieber wrote operas, sacred music, and music for chamber ensemble. He also wrote one of the earliest known pieces for solo violin in the monumental Passacaglia. Oh, and the mystery sonatas.
Mystery sonatas, that's what I was wanting to
Oh, these are very interesting. I remember hearing a lecture on these a long time ago.
Yeah.
It might have been Carl Haas or someone. Yeah, look, thank you. I wouldn't mind sampling that Passacaglia tonight. I think it would be interesting. We might just add it to the fray, and then we can play other material as well, and sort of learn about him in subsequent programs. But yes, how about that?
I found him again because even though I've had this CD for a long time, because I've just heard it on the radio and it appealed to me, but I was reminded of him because I was looking at composers' birthdays that we might mention.
Yes.
And his is on, I think it's on the 12th of this month.
Oh, really? Okay.
The 8th or the 12th, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Passacaglia. I'm just interested. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Oh, here we go. Quite a lot of recordings playing his the G minor. It's not a very long work. Oh, and it's been transcribed for guitar as well. Oh, this looks like a lovely violinist, Alicia Silverstein. She looks beautiful. Oh, what fun! Let's have a little sample. Let's have a sujun. I like just taking a. We've had some violins, so we'll have some more violin. How about that?
I've derailed things.
Not at all. There's no rail. There's no rail here.
No rail.
No, this is totally serendipitous, and I just enjoy the whimsy of moving in multiple directions. Here we go. Let's have it. Let's have the work. It's a movement from the Mystery Sonatas. I'd like to sort of flesh out the story of the Mystery Sonatas more, but I just want to hear it now because we've been talking about him and the music of Mr. Bieber and this gorgeous violinist. Or she looks gorgeous. I'm sure she plays beautifully.
If she can play it.
I'm sure she can. Alicia Silverstein. And yes, we'll hear the Passacaglia from his Mystery Sonatas, an early work, an early Baroque example from Mr. Bieber. Solo violin, written in 1676, it says. There's a little bit of a lead in here. Well, how about that? Oh, marvellous. Alicia Silverstein was the fiddle player there, and Passacaria from one of the mystery sonatas by Heinrich Bieber.
Yeah.
Very beautiful music.
Lovely.
Yes.
It sounded quite austere, though, didn't it, with the heavy reverb and the...
Yes, wouldn't be my preferred listening environment, but that's, and lots of heavy traffic behind it as well.
A lot of, I know. There's a lot of compression there
Yeah.
Well, not compression, what do you call it? Limiting.
Yes, it seems to be, but that's okay. She was, I think she's just an enthusiast. I don't know. I don't know her background, but she's played that with, a very committed performance, and it's a very earthy approach to baroque playing with...
It was. I liked it. But
yeah.
she was way off mic, wasn't she?
Yes, a lot of it's a room reverb.
Yeah.
Big cathedral. She was playing in a big venue, and it's a film. But I loved it. It was great. It's beautiful music, and I'd like to.
It's really a theme and variation.
It is. It's classic Passacaria form with that canon. With that bass line. Now,
could you tell me what scordatura?
Oh, that's when you retune the instrument.
Oh God!
Yes, you retune the instrument to different, the strings to different pitches, so that you can make the chords work in a particular key.
I see.
And Bach did it with the Fifth Cello Suite. Is written in you tune the A string down to a G. And so it has its problems because a lot of instruments just don't resonate as well when they're changed. I mean, they're built around a particular set of structures, interrelated resonances and such. And so, but look, in the Baroque era, everything was looser in a way, and I think with the pitch being less than what it is, and the actions lower,
wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. So I think it sort of worked a lot better, and it's quite interesting. They did it. Apparently, Bieber did it all the time, but it requires great technical mastery because you've suddenly got to reimagine everything, and all your intervallic relationships are different.
No, it would be terrible.
Yeah, so you have to have a different sort of understanding of your instrument, really, because, I mean, classically, most string players think in fifths always, because fifths are our resonant points of the strings, and double bass players sense it in fourths, and as do a lot of guitarists, because of the nature of the tuning on the guitar as well. And so, yes, scordatura means that you are playing with all sorts of different intervals between different strings. And
Oh my God, it sounds like a nightmare.
it would be, and you just have to have a very, very good ear, and I don't know, just be very much immersed in that culture and that sort of sound world, and probably, I don't know, you'd have to just know the music incredibly well, I suppose. He was apparently an astonishing virtuoso, Mr. Bieber. But the works themselves are interesting, and I can give you a little bit of background on these. It's the mystery sonatas, or the copper engraving sonatas, also known as they're most commonly known today as the rosary sonatas, because I think they've got all the movements have religious Catholic iconic significance. And yes, it mentions the Passacaria here. Instead of a title, each sonata has a copper-engraved vignette related to the Christian Rosary practice and possibly the Feast of the Guardian Angels. It is presumed that the mystery sonatas were completed around 1776, but they are unknown until their first publication in 1905. While Bieber lost much popularity after his death, his music was never entirely forgotten due to the high technical skill required to play many of his works. This is especially true of his violin works. And once rediscovered, the mystery sonatas, the rosary sonatas, became one of Bieber's most widely known compositions. It's prized for its virtuosic vocal style, scordatura tunings, and programmatic structure. Yeah, look, it's fascinating. It survives in the Bavarian State Library in Munich. No title page, and the manuscript begins with a dedication to his employer, Prince Archbishop Max Gandalf von Kernberg. Because of the missing title page, it is uncertain what Bieber intended the formal title of the piece to be and which instruments he intended for the accompaniment. Although scholars assume that the sonatas were probably written around the year 1676, there is evidence that they were not all written at the same time or in the same context. This means that Bieber could have collected the sonatas from his previously composed works to form a collection and replaced out of place suites with new compositions. However, as they are assembled, they comprise a remarkably coherent large-scale form, which is also relevant to the given title, Mystery Sonatas. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
it is interesting. Yeah, I'd like to feature it. We'll hear more examples. I'll look into it and find different fiddle players playing different sort of aspects of it and make it into a program. But it suddenly reminded me when I was listening to that there's a genre called funeral music or funeral music with something funeral music. It's violin music which was typically played at the graveside.
Yes.
And it's a genre in itself, dating from that time. And I know Baroque specialists sort of find great meaning in it. I heard a program on Radio National about this funeral music, and it was really, really interesting. And I think Bieber may have been one of the composers who wrote that type of music as well.
Oh, right.
So it's music to sort of send the deceased into the afterlife sort of thing.
Say goodbye.
Yeah. So, and being a portable instrument, the fiddle was able to be taken to the graveside, and I think there's particular significance of that kind.
Sure.
Yeah. So, anyhow, well, I'm not going to be around. This is a really short program. I've got about 15-20 minutes to go before I have to get ready for the concert tonight.
I'd just like to say I'm vk3jr, speaking to vk3sl, 162 2 metres crossband duplex. And also going out on 40 metres, I think.
Yes, 40 metres. You might want to mention for the 2 metre wanderers that we are going out on 433 on 433 megahertz now. We've gone down the band because of some congestion issues and found a sweet spot. And so that's, do you want to mention that? Because
yes, we mentioned that.
Yeah, so because I don't know if someone's listening on 2 metres to you.
I'm on 145.04. You can have 433 as an alternate frequency.
Yeah, that's it. So we're right to go. And just also a word to the general listener that we do archive these programs and we have a YouTube presence. There's a YouTube devoted space to these missions, and it's under my call sign vk3sl. So look it up on YouTube and you'll see lots of archives. And a live stream as well. But having said all that, we can move on. And earlier last weekend, I actually spent I think it was last Sunday, maybe. I think it was. Yes, my daughter and I went out to the antique centre just for a bit of a nosy round.
All right.
And she's looking for bits and bobs, and I just have a bit of a ponder and just feel at the end I always feel empowered because I very rarely buy anything and. I sort of think, well, I was able to restrain myself. But not that there was much of interest anyhow. It's very, very junky. But I did end up getting something, and it was at the very last moment, just about to walk out, and I saw a whole pack a pile of 78s on a shelf. And I thought, oh, what are these? And I thought they were 45s. They were 5-inch records, very small records.
Oh, good heavens.
And I thought, these are smaller than 45s. And I looked at them, and there's a big stack of children's 78s from the 1920s, little fairy records and kiddie phone discs and mimosa discs.
Yeah, they'd be made for a small wind-up groover.
Yes, they were made for little clockwork machines. Jamie's got one.
Yeah,
and,
they're special. I've heard about them.
Yeah, they're very special, and they're a kids' phonograph, but the major companies made records for them, and a lot of the dance bands recorded very short. They only go for little vignettes. They go for about 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the records are fairly seldom seen. You don't see them very often. And these people had no idea what they were. And there's a big stack of them, and there's no price on it. And I thought, I'll just take them up to the front and say, ask them. And they said, what do you want to offer? And I said, I'll offer $20 for the lot. And I got this huge stack, like 50 more records.
Oh, great.
For fairly cheap, very cheap actually, because they're worth a lot more than that. So
not a lot of people would want them, really.
No, and I'm really pleased because it meant that I've got more missions fodder of interest. And
oh, yeah?
They are unusual. And
know any of the bands?
Well, they're all English dance bands, and most of them were pressed by Vocalion in the 20s. A lot of them from the period 1925-27. That period was sort of the golden age of the kiddie phone, and they don't last that well because kids broke them, and they're shellac, of course. Shellac, of course.
Yes,
standard 78s, but very small. You can fit them in the palm of your hand. And
Single-sided?
No, double-sided. And
Okay.
typically they had a dance band on one side and then something a bit popular on the other side. So they're a lot of fun, and they're very colourful little records. So I'm thrilled that to have these. I'll play.
It's a good addition to the collection.
It is. It's nice to have. So I'll play one. I'll play one or two. This track, I did actually last Sunday when I got them. I told the story and played a few then as well. But there's so many of them here. We can just play a few others. So Kitty Phone Disc. The name of this track it's a one-step. It's called Tally Ho, and it says on the label played by the Kitty Phone Orchestra. But it's probably someone like the Alsterita or one of those English dance bands from the mid-20s.
Yeah.
And often they have good solos. I've noticed this. And I think a number of hot musicians just did the sessions and cut loose perhaps a little bit more than what they would have on in another format. So it's quite intriguing, really. But let's have a listen to Tally Ho. Aha, Tally Ho is the name of the track, and I heard the Hunters Chorus from the Freischutz, I think it is.
I wondered what I couldn't remember where it had come from.
Yes, it emerged. It came out of the texture there. That's the more band-oriented side of this disc, this Kitty Phone disc. The other side is a very upbeat. They tried to squeeze it onto a 5-inch record. A very upbeat version of When the Red, Red Robin Comes, Bob, Bob, Bob in the Line. So we'll have to hear this. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
This will be another 20s hit from way back when.
Wake up, you're sleepyhead, get up, get out of bed, cheer
Okay, there we go. How about the alto saxophone solo in the middle of that?
Very good, yes. That's excellent.
Yeah, they were really cutting loose.
Oh, very much.
Yeah, so I'll just play one more kiddie phone record. We'll keep saving them up and play them in bits and dribs and drabs. Here we go. This one is called, I want to hear this, it's called She Don't Wanna. And this
Right.
I don't know what this refers to, but it's a fairy record, and these are lovely little discs. They made, I know for sure that these were pressed by vk3sl in England, and they actually, I did look these up online, and they're considered globally, they're considered to be very rare, but I think we see them more in Australia because what happened is vk3sl had an outlet here, and a lot of the stuff that didn't sell in Britain was dumped in Australia. And I think a lot of these fairy records came from that sort of source. And but so you do occasionally see them, but I think in one way they're sort of more prominent here than elsewhere.
Oh, well, you've done well to have them.
It's nice to have a handful of them. Again, they're very small. You can fit them in the palm of your hand. Tiny little shellac records. And this one's very proudly says in black type on the label, electrically recorded. So they want us to know that it's not a grungy sounding acoustic record.
No.
They'd moved into higher echelons here by 1925, and I had no idea who the band is. It's probably it would be one of the better dance bands. They would have had a day's employment just cutting these all day, and I think the musicians, to me, they often sound quite sort of exuberant. Anyhow, I can't recall hearing this one, though. It's called She Don't Wanna. It's a foxtrot with vocal refrain. So
got words. Oh, good. We'll find out what you don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get the full story.
Hardly wait.
The full mystery. Stand on by.
I just want her to pet like the others I've met, but she don't wanna. Oh, I plead and beg for one little kiss, but that hard-boiled egg just sits there like this. We could have so much fun, but it takes more than one, and she don't wanna.
Okay, there we go. We got the story.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, lot of room ambience. Recorded in a large hall, and you could hear the theatre organ in the mix there.
Okay.
So, yes, complete with dance band and theatre organ. So they sort of...
Oh, yes, I heard it, yes.
Yes, you could hear it just, chugging away there behind it. It's quite a sound. It may have been made at one of the picture palaces, perhaps, because it could have been an early Wurlitzer or something.
Sounds like a big room anyway.
Yes, big space.
Big space, I should say.
Yeah. You could hear the reverb. And, so look, I'd love to learn more about these fairy records and little kiddie phone discs. There's a couple of websites devoted to them with some information.
That's probably not a kiddie's recording with the theme of it.
No, it's true. I think I don't wonder if they're trying to corrupt the youth of the times. There might have been. Some of them are. There's one brand of. There's a lot of fairy records in the pile, and there's heaps of nursery rhymes. And I must sample these because they're probably more like the original Grimm's nursery rhymes with sort of bad endings and and a bit of grit.
Prepare the kids for later life.
Exactly. So I used to read my kids the original Grimm's because I felt like, with disclaimers, because I felt like it was important that they get the real fairy tale, not the...
Absolutely.
Not the...
I used to love to read them.
Yeah.
They were one of the early books I read.
Oh, is that right?
Hans Andersen, which was a lot softer.
Yes.
And I read all them, and then I read Grimm, and Grimm really was grim.
It really was grim. As bad things happened. People just got eaten and sort of, handled badly. But it's...
he didn't need a happy ending, did he?
No, not at all.
Well, they didn't.
That's it. So yeah, we get these stories. So I must look into it. There's one here, Three Blind Mice.
All right.
We could play it. Should we have a fairy story?
That's an unhappy ending.
Yeah, we'll see how they tell the story. Uncle Joe, whoever that was. This is even smaller. This record's 4 inches. I think we'll get the truncated version. Three Blind Mice. All right, this is tiny. I think this is the smallest record in the collection. Here we go. Oh, it's hard even to do a needle drop.
They all ran out to the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life? A three blind mice. They all ran out to the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life? A three blind mice. Blind mice, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life? A three blind mice.
Okay. It wasn't the story, it was the song. But it was nicely accompanied there with lots of extra musical support.
Yes, a little minor key for the people who were feeling not too sad about it.
Yes, that's right, it's true. And the bassoon all the way, a little ominous bassoon setting the scene. And then it went into that second chorus. We had the charge of all of the instrumentalists going full bore and... It's clever. It's a nice little musical rendition, actually. I find that quite compelling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Amongst the batch, there's a number of pygmy gramophone discs. Now, I've never seen these ever, and I looked them up, and apparently the pygmy gramophones, P-I-G-M-Y, pygmy gramophones, were these tiny little toy gramophones, and these are 5-inch records, and they little clockwork machine. You just had a key on the side and a tiny little horn that was attached to the reproducer. And it's got this very cute picture on the label of this little fairy girl with red hair and wings on her back, sitting there holding up a British. It looks like she's holding up a British flag. She's holding up a sparkle, a fairy wand, and playing a fairy record on a little fairy gramophone, and with little mushrooms growing in the midst of it. So these are it's quite a arresting sort of presentation. And yeah, this is what kids did for entertainment, Frank, back in the 1925.
And very good it would have been too. Very, very entertaining.
Yeah, very wholesome. Amazing. It would have been, let's think about it. Back then, a kid getting something like this on a little machine, it would have been so wondrous. It would have been so out of the norm. I mean, the first generation of hearing pre-recorded sound, Yeah.
Well, it would have been unbelievable, really.
Yes, it would have been.
It was wonder enough for me to get a wind-up gramophone when I got one.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought that in itself was just terrific.
Yes, Frank, it's incredible. You're a part of the wind-up generation.
I certainly was.
That's so amazing. I'll play this one more. This one is called The Bluebells of Scotland, and it's bells, it says. I'm not sure anything else. I haven't even listened to it yet, but played by, it actually gives us the performer. Is Jay Rotherham. He's playing the bells and the Bluebells of Scotland. Bells usually came across quite well. The only problem with these records is that they're hard to get on the turntable because the hole is too small.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so
Could you ream it out a bit?
I need to, but I'm trying to just...
Not now, but I mean...
Yeah, I will in time. I've balanced it, see if it works. Might get a bit of wow.
That's good.
How cute's that?
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, we heard the bells. Bells captured very well on 78s.
Wonder how you... Was that one person playing?
I think it was. I think it was Mr. Rotherham.
Rotherham, I don't know how that... He must have had a set of them, obviously.
Yes, he would have. I'd be interested. I'm fascinated to know how they did it. Yeah, but he must have had a set. He must have had a set, and he just sort of
He'd
moved.
have had a set, but I'm not sure how he did the sustained, keep repetitive striking when he's playing to...
Yeah.
To...
Maybe it was like a glass harmonica. No, that wouldn't work. I don't know. I'm really intrigued.
And it is intriguing.
I
You
will have
think
to,
of the logistics of it. I don't know how he did it.
I'll have to ask my mallet percussion specialist friends and see if anyone can tell me how they did it, how they played the bells back in the day. Or maybe it's chimes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe chimes. Know those hanging chimes?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Yeah, it could be something like that. I don't know. It's intriguing. I'd like to know.
I've got a recording of handbells, but one bell per person.
Yes, that's right. Yes, well, that's it's very much an ensemble.
Used to drive the family mad on Christmas Day because they play it's a lot of carols.
Did you? Oh, really?
It does get to you after a little while.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yes, it's very intense.
Yeah, I remember going to see bell ringing at St. Paul's years ago.
Yeah.
I had a friend whose dad was really into it, like seriously into it, went every time and was one of the head bell ringers, and he took me up there, and it was so loud. It was such a visceral experience, and yeah, incredible actually.
That would be, but they're big bells.
Yeah, they're huge bells. They're not handbells.
Yeah. I love that sound. You know?
It's a wonderful sound, but it's very immersive because it's just full. It's full.
I don't think you want to be too close to it.
I reckon you'd have to wear earplugs if you do it all the
you
time.
should, I think.
Because they pull these great big huge cords, big like ropes, and they go up into the bell loft above, and it's heavy duty. You got to really pull hard.
They practice, don't they? Doing sets.
They do. Absolutely. It's a really highly refined craft.
What's it called? Tintinnabulation? Is it?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. It sounds familiar. I don't know the term. Interesting. Thank you. Yeah.
I think it might be.
Yeah. The art of bell ringing. But anyhow, so there we have our little pygmy selection. I've got to go soon. I've got to go and...
of course.
This one here is... I think this is one of the records that Jamie passed on, but I'm going to finish with it because it's got a crack. I think it's still playable. It's... a recording made in the Sydney Town Hall, April 1948, and it's a label called King of Swing. Interesting. I've never seen this label. It must have been a sort of special issue. And it's a recording of Les Welsh and his band with Harry Spooks or Sooks. Oh, I can't see that. Sookie. S-O-O-K-E-E, I think.
Suki, yeah. Suki, perhaps.
Not sure. Anyhow, yes, it said it was voted King of Swing in April 1948. So there must have been some sort of special event thing, and this record was their reward, maybe. It was probably pressed by someone else. So anyhow, Les Welsh and his band. So and Kinney Lab. It says yes, Kinney Lab recording process by the ABC. There we go. That's its background. So I'll play both sides of this. And then I will depart the shores until later on, and I'm not sure exactly when I'll be back because the show finishes about 10:30, and then we've got to get organised and back and sorted, and so it might mean I have a slightly late start, but we'll see how we go.
That's fine. I'll probably talk to Clint.
Do that
after his program.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, folks, tomorrow I don't think it's going to happen. Because I'm involved with this whole thing, and I'm very invested in it, and I'm just amazed. It's a homebrew production. The drama teacher, 2 drama teachers at the school, wrote the thing over summer, and it is an absolutely a masterpiece. It's incredible. It's a musical, and they wrote all the music, and they put it all together. They used Band in a Box and created some really good rock tracks. A lot of very close connections with known rock songs, but still their own inventive melodies. The vibe of certain genres is very present. And
terrific.
Yeah, and it's called Split Earth, and it's about it's a science fiction musical, and it's apocalyptic. And so it's a difficult one for kids because it ends pretty sad. Most of the main characters get killed off.
Oh. And
they have to, it's all for a good cause, and it's done very, very well because there's a lot of comic relief along the way. It's a huge musical. It must have about 20 tracks. And but yes, and it involves autocrats and the rise of autocrats. It's very prescient, I have to say. It was really, I watched this and I think, my God, they're really sort of channeling the vibe of our times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of close connection with our real world. And so it's probably quite, I find it quite cathartic, and seeing kids sort of work us through in the production, and I'm in absolute awe of what they've done. I just think it's beyond the pale. I can't imagine the amount of work. It's thousands of hours of work, and they've put this together and they're presenting it at local high school. It's amazing. So and Celia, my daughter's got one of the leads in it, so she's it's become her life this week, and I'm just totally there.
He's handling it okay?
Yeah, she's handling it really well.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, she's transcended it. She's just amazing. But I'm biased, so I shouldn't be saying
Not at all.
I don't want to be that horrible, gloating parent. But
it's one of the great pleasures of parenthood, actually.
Well, it's lovely seeing any kids. It's good to see kids just invested in something expressive and voluminous and complex and community-oriented and a deep spirit, all those things.
You betcha.
That's what's important. So, Okay, from all of that, back to the King of Swing, Les Welsh and his band. Thank you, Frank. We'll catch up with you in a few hours' time.
Look forward to that indeed, Steve.
Yeah.
So this is vk3sl going clear.
And vk3sl thanking the listener. We look forward to your company later on.
We do.
There's a story the gypsies know is true, that when your love wears golden earrings, love belongs to you. Oh, love story shining stars, they will glow with every cold. Will hear desires flow inside your soul. Be my gypsy, make love your guiding light, and let this pair of golden earrings cast their spell tonight. Oh, be my gypsy, make love your guiding light, and let this pair of golden earrings cast their spell tonight.
We have a story to tell you, it's sad but it's true, and we just want to warn you folks that it could happen to you. Sad and true, it could happen to you. Oh, I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Many years ago when I was 23, I was married to a widow who was pretty as could be. This widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair all red. My father fell in love with her and soon they took away. This made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. But my daughter was my mother, cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. Sad and true, it could happen to you. His little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, and so became his uncle, though it made him very sad. For if he was his uncle, and it also made him brother of the widower's grown-up daughter, who of course was his stepmother. My father's wife and had a son who kept him on the run, and he became a grandchopper. He was my daughter's son. My wife is now my mother's mother, and it makes me blue, because although she is my spouse, she's my grandma too. He's his own grandpa, he is. Confounded, it's a crime. He's his own grandpa, he is. I'm old before my time. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. If my wife is my grandma, then I'm her grandchild. And every time I think of it, it darn it drives me wild. For now I have become the strangest kid you ever saw. As husband of my grandma, I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It's a darnest mix-up, I'm my own grandpa.
And it can't be fixed up.
Funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm a-telling you folks, you gotta be careful just who you try your drop with. Sad but true, I'm my own grandpa.